What's up everybody, this is Danny. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Tough Armor for the iPad mini with Retina display made by Spigen, and this will be available on their website at spigen.com for $39.99 and their eBay store and also amazon.com. So let's go ahead and get started. The Tough Armor series was created to solve a dilemma that we all have. We want the best protection we can get on our devices, but we don't want that big bulky case either, and I think Spigen has succeeded in that realm. If you've seen my iPhone 5 drop test, then you know how good these cases can be with minimal bulk. This case continues the tradition of having a two-part case where the outside is more of a harder plastic shell that you can probably change colors on later when they decide to sell it, and the main part of the case is a rubberized material, and when you flip it over it has these crisscross patterns for shock absorption. Also, to improve shock absorption, they have air cushion technology where they beef up the corners, where most of the time if you're going to drop your device it decides to land on the corner, so you have extra absorption on the corners there to protect your device. Now that you know more about the case, let's go ahead and install it. This is the iPad mini with Retina display, so let me show you the easy install here. You just slip it right into the side and it fits in without any problems whatsoever, so the fit and finish and the fit of it is great, and now you are ready to go. The first thing you'll notice is that nice heavy lip that goes around the screen itself, and that's great for protection, and we'll talk about that later on. And on the other side you will find the covered volume buttons and your exposed mute toggle switch. Up top you will find the covered power button, the exposed dual microphone setup, and the exposed 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the opposite side you see absolutely nothing. On the bottom you see the cutouts for your stereo speaker and your lightning port. On the back you see a big circular cutout for the Apple logo, and some people might not like that, and the exposure for the 5-megapixel outside camera. Going back to that heavy front lip around the screen, it's very important if you're going to lay this down flat on a surface, but it's also important if you were to drop this and it was to land on the actual screen itself. It's going to give you some protection there. So the Tough Armor series is going to give you protection all around. What all of this equates to is a great experience for your iPad mini with Retina display. It's very easy to hold in the hand, and I love the way it feels in the hand. So using it portrait or landscape mode, I found it no problem to be able to handle this on a day-to-day basis. Some of you may be concerned about the tactility of the buttons since they are covered, and some of the other cases there are some issues, but on this case absolutely no problems whatsoever with the power button and the volume rocker tactility. It works every time, so do not worry about the sensitivity of these buttons even though that they are covered. And when it comes to the construction of this thing, it feels fantastic in the hand. I am not a fan of glossy cases, and this has a nice material that's on the back of it, and it does collect a few fingerprints but nothing heavy, and these beveled edges make it very easy to hold in the hand. I have moderate sized hands and I had no problem holding this thing with one hand on operation, so the design and the actual functionality of it for an everyday case is great, and it does not affect the 5-megapixel camera on the back with the cutout. It does add a little bit of bulk and a little bit of weight, but if you're worried about how heavy this case is for a daily use case, then don't worry about that. I never found my wrist to have any kind of fatigue or anything like that with this case on. It's actually surprisingly light. And web browsing, video games, everything, I had no problems, and even dreaming of this new Mac Pro, I had no problems on a daily basis with this case, so I definitely recommend it. I knew I was going to get this question, so I wanted to include this in the review. What about the first generation iPad mini without the Retina display? Will this case work? And what if I have a glass screen protector put on the front? So with the added thickness, will this affect the case's functionality? Well, let's take a look right now. For experimental purposes, let's go ahead and install the original iPad mini with this Tough Armor case. And upon first inspection, there is no problems with fit and finish whatsoever, and the functionality is just fine as well. And even with this glass screen protector put on the front, look at how much of the lip is still preserved. So still very pronounced, and you're going to be able to get that protection even with a glass screen protector on the front. There is one problem though. Since the iPad mini with Retina display is slightly thicker, it does affect the tactility of the volume and power buttons, so you have to push those pretty hard to get them to work. So if you're willing to live with that, then this case is usable on a daily basis. Overall, I really like this case for my iPad mini with Retina display. I think it gives it a great protection, so you don't have to be afraid if you're going to break the screen or dent the sides, but it doesn't add this huge bulk that most cases with this type of protection would give you. And if you combine this with one of their glass series, then man, you're going to get that ultimate protection for your new iPad mini. So what do you guys think about this case? Is this your next case for your iPad mini with Retina display? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and check Spiegen's cases out at their website. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at SuperScientific, and you can ask me any question there. And thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.